Okay. So one portion, one movement of the earth we come to know, and that other movement of the earth which is going around on its own axis, and the circle that divides the earth between but not touching the axis is called the circle of illumination, and one side is day and one side is night. It takes 24 hours to create one earth day. One whole part will have day and night, will take 24 hours to complete. One day and night. Clear? That is one part of its function. That's its duty, normal duty every day. Got it? Now we have to see that the second motion of the earth. One, you are seeing it spinning, but another motion is which is going around the sun on the orbit, and it does not go on a uniform side of the orbit. One part of the orbit is very close to the sun, other part is very far away from the sun. Orbit is like that. Now the orbit circulation will take, the year will come. If it stays in the same area, whatever happens every day, the season will not change. So for the season to change, you have to move away from the sun. Sun will be there, but you have to move away from the sun so that the rays come to you later and they are much lesser heat, so that you will experience the winter, which we call summer in the southern hemisphere, winter in the northern hemisphere. It is called winter solstice. Then we have summer solstice. Then we have spring equinox, and we have spring equinox on 23rd September and 21st of March. Autumn, spring, all have to happen. In one part will be autumn, other part will be spring. Correct? Now, what I said, the rotation helps for the day and night. Always keep it in mind. For the rotation you get 24 hours, and for the revolution you get 365 1/4 day. Correct? So, the second motion of the earth around the sun in its orbit is called revolution. It takes 365 quarter days. That's why those 4 quarters make one. So, 25%, 25%, 25. So, after 4 years, that day is added up in February. Got my point? That becomes 66 days. So it takes 365 1/4 days, 1 year, to revolve around the sun. We consider as consisting of 365 days only, ignoring the 6 hours for the sake of convenience. 4 6 are 24. 24 hours, 1/4 is 6 hours. So at the end of every 4 years, we get that extra 1 day. That comes in 20th January. 29th it comes. We'll go into that later. And the ancient Indian astronomer Aryabhatta had stated that the earth is round and rotates on its axis. Revolution of the earth and its season. Rotation is for day and night, revolution is for the full year and its seasons. Clear? Has it gone into your head so far? I hope I was able to explain it slowly and so that you can understand it, what I am trying to say. Clear? Fine. Now 6 hours saved every year are added up to make 1 day. Just now I told you 24 hours over a span of 4 years. This surplus day is added to the month of February. Thus, every fourth year, February is of 29 days instead of 28 days. Such a year with 366 days is called a leap year. Okay. So, it is clear now that the earth is going around the sun in an elliptical orbit. What's elliptical orbit? That we have to know first what is actually an elliptical orbit. If we don't know what's an elliptical orbit, we won't know what are the other things, right? So we must come to know what is an elliptical orbit. Elliptical means the if I say it in other means, elliptical is going to be like a oval shaped type of thing. When an object moves around another object in an oval shaped path, it is known to be revolving in an elliptical orbit. All planets move in elliptical orbits around the sun. The point at which the satellite is furthest from the earth in an elliptical orbit is called the apogee. Didn't I tell you? Wait, I'll show you. Class 6, right? See this drawing. This one. It's an oval shaped. At one point of time, the earth is near the sun. At one point of time, it's away from the sun. Oval shaped, like a egg type of thing. It is tilted, plus it is rotating on itself, and at the same time it's rotating like that for the seasons. That is elliptical. Now it has got names, away from the sun and near the sun. That will come to it later. But now we are with this revolution part. Okay. So with this revolution we get to know a lot of things. Elliptical orbit is done. The earth goes around an elliptical orbit. One comes close sometimes and it goes far away to get the winter. Now, how can you draw an ellipse? If you take two pins like this on a piece of paper and put a string around those two pins, a loop of thread, any loop of thread, loose type, then you fix the pencil, pull the thread with your pencil and draw. It will come an oval shape. It will not come a circle. it will come on a ellipse will draw. Now you see 21st June. June when it happens, the northern hemisphere gets tilted towards the sun. 21st of June, the sun rays fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. As a result, these areas receive more heat. The areas near the pole receive less heat as the rays of the sun are slanting. The North Pole is inclined towards the sun, and the places beyond the Arctic Circle experiences continuous daylight for 6 months. Now, since a large portion of the northern hemisphere is getting light from the sun, it's like this, tilted, suppose, and the sun is hitting here for 6 months, is getting sun. Since the large portion of that northern hemisphere is getting the sun, it is the summer in the regions north of the equator. Places beyond the Arctic Circle. The longest day and the shortest night at these places occur on 21st of June. At this time, in the southern hemisphere, all these conditions are reversed. It is winter season there. So when we are summer here, Australia is having winter. The nights are longer than the days. This position of the earth is called the summer solstice. 21st June, summer solstice. 22nd of December, now we go towards down part. The Tropic of Cancer receives direct rays of the sun as the south pole tilts towards it. As the sun rays fall vertically at the Tropic of Capricorn, okay, what did I say in the first part? Northern hemisphere is at the Tropic of Cancer, and now we are having 22nd December, the Tropic of Capricorn receives the direct sunlight, that is the south pole tilts towards it. As the sun's rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south, a larger portion of the hemisphere gets light. Therefore, it is summer in the southern hemisphere with longer days and shorter nights. The reverse happens in the north hemisphere. This position of the earth is called winter solstice. Do you know that Christmas is celebrated in Australia in the summer season, not in winter? Because it's just vice versa, reverse. On 21st of March and 23rd of September, direct rays of the sun fall on the equator. At this position, neither the poles are tilted towards the sun. So the whole earth experiences equal days and equal nights. This is called an equinox. March 23rd September. On 23rd September, we'll keep it till there, till equinox. I don't want to put too much of pressure on you. I'll come back in the next class. So take care of yourself, and we'll come and discuss this later. Be home, be safe, and be happy. Take care of yourselves and your parents. Love them, respect them, and do whatever you want after your studies. Okay? Bye bye.